Grandpa said never to use magic unless it's to help someone.
Oh, well, I am going to help someone, silly. Here it goes.
Dragon Ball mystery boxes contain all the excitement and usefulness of a Capsule Corp capsule. These boxes are packed with mystery and suspense as you open them to find an assortment of Dragon Ball goods such as Dragon Ball Z and Super character models, Dragon Ball keychains, Dragon Ball hats, Dragon Ball bracelets, Dragon Ball clothing, jackets. We go even further beyond with the unlimited amount of Dragon Ball merchandise combinations and surprises you find in these boxes. And even better, for a limited time only, the first 500 people to redeem their box, their code, will get it absolutely free. All you gotta do is cover shipping and handling. Guys, this is a premium Dragon Ball crate that you do not want to miss out on. So make sure you click the link in the description below and the top comment and order your Dragon Ball Z mystery box today.
Prepare yourself, 10 Saiyan.
Smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you never miss a video. Ever since I started covering Dragon Ball fan mangas on this channel, I have gotten DMs on Twitter, on YouTube, comments, and emails, people asking me to review their Dragon Ball fan mangas and even Dragon Ball fan fiction. And if I have the time, I take the time to read their stories, read their mangas, and let them know exactly what I think. In a few cases, I've actually covered these fan mangas in videos because of the level of quality that I see in them. And that is the name of the game. Quality. I want you guys, my loyal fans, to come to this channel and enjoy a certain level of quality and relaxation that takes you away from the hassles and struggles of everyday life. So today I have a brand new Dragon Ball fan manga that essentially continues our theme of Caulifla and Cabba Dragon Ball fan manga stories. And this is the level of quality that I will review when it comes to not only Dragon Ball fan mangas, but also Dragon Ball fan fiction when it comes to interesting ideas, the story, and of course, if it's a fan manga, the artwork. And today's is coming from J Hearts on Twitter. He has dropped this new Dragon Ball fan manga, Dragon Ball Super Universe 6's legendary Super Saiyan. So let's jump in because this is a wild ride. We find ourselves in the hills of Universe 6's planet Sadala, and someone's cooking a pretty delicious looking meal, and we all know that anime has the best looking food imaginable. And we see who the chef is, and it is Kale from Universe 6. She's happily cooking until she hears a loud explosion. Looking to her left unemotionally, Cabba and Caulifla are both fighting in Super Saiyan form. They are sparring in the hills of planet Sadala, and the first thing you notice is the fact that they still have their tails. Now, it isn't clear at this moment why they have their tails. Maybe at some point the artist will bring that to light. I don't see a problem with it unless they turn Uzaru, but just for the moment, know that in this story they have tails, even though we know in Universe 6 in the anime that these Saiyans have lost their tails a long time ago. But that is the beauty of Dragon Ball fan stories and fan mangas. You can basically do whatever you want as long as it makes some sort of sense. And as the power struggle continues, Kale is just sitting there cooking her food. Seems like she's eating her ingredients and she doesn't really seem very fazed by the battle that is happening. The food is finally ready and Caulifla and Cabba are more than excited to get their grub on, and Caulifla inhales the food, thanking Kale for the meal, and Kale of course is just really happy to get some sort of admiration from Caulifla. Cabba thanks Kale for the food, and it is a different story entirely, and even Cabba feels the daggers coming out of her eyes. And as night overtakes the trio and the fire crackles, Cabba and Caulifla are sitting there, obviously full, and Kale has gone to sleep. And then Cabba asks Caulifla a question. He wants to know, why did she kidnap the princess? And there may be two sides to this story, because Caulifla is like, is that what your king told you? And Cabba's like, King Paragus told me you took her from her bedroom, but she looks so happy with you, and that's because she wasn't happy before. Guys, alright, this scene not only changes the way that we see Universe 6, it doesn't only change the way that we see this trio, but it changes the dynamic of Kale and Caulifla's relationship entirely, something I had never even thought about, not one time. Now, I did think it was kind of strange that Kale was Caulifla's protege, because they seem like so at odds with each other when it comes to personality, and Kale doesn't seem like the type to be hanging out with like the bad boys or whatever, but this explains it entirely. Caulifla ended up kidnapping her, and then Kale just essentially fell in love with her and stuck around. I guess that's what ended up happening. And now it makes sense, if she's the princess, that her dad would be the king, and if she is the embodiment of Broly essentially in Universe 6, then it would make sense that her dad would be the Universe 6 version of Paragus, and the fact that he's king also, it just fits so well. It's extremely interesting. Like, I love the direction already that this story is going. But as I told you guys, there is a fuller story in this situation, and Caulifla is about to break it down. Caulifla only took Kale from the castle because Kale asked her to. Now, Caulifla was getting cocky. She is an outlaw in the Saiyan homeworld, so she decided, I'm gonna break in, sneak into the palace, and steal some jewels, see what I can get away with. And when she got there, she found Kale, and Kale was broken essentially, and Kale asked to go, so Caulifla said sure, and Kale joined her gang. Now, it isn't clear why King Paragus kept her locked up. It isn't clear why she was under wraps in that castle, but Caulifla makes it clear that that is a shitty way to treat your daughter, and since then they have never looked back. And Cabba looks a little bit guilty at the moment. The next day comes and Caulifla's still sleeping, but Kale and Cabba both get up at the same time, and Kale apologizes to Cabba because she has not been fair to him at all. Cabba has been nothing but kind, and Cabba has even helped Caulifla get stronger, and Kale has been kind of mean to Cabba, and so she apologizes and she thanks him for helping them out. And that's when high above they hear, yes, Cabba. It is King Paragus in the flesh, looking very similar to the Paragus that we know in Dragon Ball Super Universe 7, except he looks way more kingly, and he is really happy that Cabba has led him to her daughter, and not only that, has led him to the rotten outlaw who is destroying the stability of the kingdom and the one that took the daughter in the first place. So essentially, Cabba has betrayed Kale and Caulifla, abandoning them to King Paragus. Caulifla is ready for the fight, and Cabba explains that the destroyer god Champa needs Caulifla, but Paragus does not care. To hell with the destroyer. He does not give a shit about the destroyer, which makes sense for his storyline because he really didn't care about King Vegeta either in the Universe 7 side of things, so he's essentially a little bit more ballsy than King Vegeta. And Kale is surrounded by negative emotion. This situation is a lot of tension and a lot of stress in a very short amount of time, with Paragus screaming, Caulifla screaming back, and Kale asking them to stop. Kale crying, screams, stop it, and then she begins to transform, and as you guys can see, she is going into her berserk state, and she explodes in that fury. The aftermath of the explosion, Cabba and Caulifla are both thrown away, and it looks like King Paragus did not come alone. He's got a few of his soldiers there, and they are all witnessing Kale transform into her berserker state, with Caulifla asking, does she turn Super Saiyan? Like, just completely confused. Now, it is unclear when this is in Dragon Ball Super. Is it before the Tournament of Power? Is it like a rewriting of the events, a different situation? I'm not entirely sure. I will try to find out that information for you guys as fast as possible. But ultimately right now, I definitely like the way this is going, and I will have the next chapter up for you guys tomorrow. So make sure you stick around for that. And if you made it to this point in the video, you are now part of the hashtag End a Video Squad. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Make sure you drop that comment with that hashtag for a chance to be featured in my next video. Today, I'm going to be responding to Q Morales. I love the video. I know I'm not going to get picked. Well, here you are. Thank you for watching my previous video. Thank you for watching this video, supporting the channel, and dropping a comment. You are the motherfucking squad. Thank you guys so much. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.